We're looking into a picture going around online this month. It claims to show a screenshot of President Trump and Zelensky discussing about Ukraine.
This war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days.
And the picture is from Simpsons.
It's almost as if the world is following a script, one The Simpsons wrote decades ago. Year after year, its wildest storylines have leaped off the screen and into reality, making fans wonder, are these coincidences? Or does The Simpsons know something we don't? From tech breakthroughs to shocking world events, this animated sitcom has made predictions that are too accurate to ignore. But what if 2025 is their next big prophecy? The truth may be more unsettling than you think. Let's find out. Number 20. AI workforce takeover. You wake up, grab your coffee, and head to work, only to find a machine sitting at your desk, doing your job better, faster, and without a paycheck. Sounds like a dystopian nightmare, right? Well, The Simpsons saw it coming long before we did. Over a decade ago, they painted a seemingly ridiculous picture of a future where humans were tossed aside like outdated technology. Now, in 2025, that joke has turned into reality. Remember that unsettling moment in The Simpsons when Mr. Burns happily replaced his human workers with a bunch of robots? It was in season 23 during the episode, Exit Through the Quick E-Mart, which aired back in 2012. In that episode, Homer and his co-workers became useless because of these mechanical replacements. What was once a funny joke now feels like a warning about our near future. The Springfield nuclear power plant's shift to automation is similar to what's happening in real life right now. In 2024, major tech companies used AI tools like ChatGPT to cut down their number of employees, leading to over 10,000 layoffs across the industry, according to Bloomberg. The World Economic Forum predicts that in 2025, 85 million jobs could disappear due to digitalization. We can already see signs of this impending crisis around us. Amazon's cashierless stores, automated customer service bots, and AI-powered content creation platforms aren't just impressive technological achievements. They're also early indicators of a workplace revolution that could leave millions behind. What The Simpsons depicted as a silly corporate choice now poses a real danger to our economic stability. 3 months into 2025, the big question isn't whether AI will change our workforce. It's whether we'll end up like Homer Simpson, powerless as machines take away our jobs. Number 19. Hologram technology. What once seemed like pure science fiction in Season 11, Episode 4 titled Bart to the Future, which aired on March 19, 2000, saw a young Bart Simpson receive a chilling holographic message from his childhood bully Nelson. The episode's seemingly outrageous holographic technology has appeared faster than anyone expected. Looking at Glass's groundbreaking demonstrations at CES 2024, it left audiences speechless as their portable holographic displays brought 3D images to life without special glasses or headsets. The legendary rock band Kiss pushed boundaries with their December 2023 holographic concert series, proving that the entertainment industry is ready to embrace this ghostly new medium. The Simpsons' vision of Nelson's hologram taunting Bart takes on darker implications as we approach the second quarter of 2025. What happens when bullies can project themselves into victims' homes? When social media transforms from screens to life-sized holograms following us through our daily routines? This technology promises revolutionary advances in communication, education, and entertainment. But at what cost to our grip on reality? As holographic tech races toward mainstream adoption, we might find ourselves trapped in a shimmering web of our own making. Number 18. The rise of electric cars. In Season 7, Episode 2 of The Simpsons, titled Radioactive Man, there is a subtle prediction about the future of cars. This episode, which aired in 1995, features a stylish and quiet vehicle that amazes the people of Springfield, contrasting with Homer's love for his gas-guzzling pink sedan. Imagine Bart and Milhouse watching in awe as this mysterious vehicle smoothly drives by, making no noise at all, a difference from the noisy engines and smelly exhaust fumes that fill the streets. This seemingly insignificant joke actually holds an unexpected insight. Back in 1995, electric cars were still just a fantasy. It wasn't until 1996 that the General Motors EV1 would hit American roads, and Tesla's groundbreaking Roadster was still more than 10 years away. At that time, battery technology was limited to basic lead-acid systems, providing only a 50-mile range. Fast forward to 2025, and everything has changed dramatically. Tesla leads the market with 1.8 million cars sold worldwide. With this trend, electric vehicles could make traditional mechanics irrelevant, devastating small towns that rely on gas stations and repair shops for their economies. In Springfield, this means the end for car hole as EVs require very little upkeep. Charging stations are popping up everywhere like mechanical mushrooms, while local auto repair shops become deserted places. Number 17. Mars colonization. Long before Elon Musk envisioned Mars colonies, the Red Planet captured Springfield's imagination. In The Food Wife Season 23, Episode 5, Marge's culinary adventures take an unexpected cosmic twist when Lisa casually mentions Mars settlements as if they're as common as corner stores. This throwaway line, buried in a 2011 episode about food blogging, carries weight in 2025. SpaceX's successful Starship test will see massive rockets designed specifically for Mars missions, with uncrewed missions planned for 2026. NASA's own Mars sample return mission edges closer, promising the first-ever Martian rocks delivered to Earth later this year. The Simpsons' casual reference to Mars colonies might seem playful, but it masks deeper questions about human ambition. Private companies race toward Mars while Earth faces climate crisis, resource depletion, and growing inequality. Each rocket launch burns through resources that could address problems at home. Number 16. Virtual reality overload. Imagine this: the people of Springfield, with vacant expressions behind sleek headsets, clumsily wandering through the streets while indulging in virtual fantasies. The Simpsons accurately predicted our upcoming virtual reality crisis in Season 28's Friends and Family, where Mr. Burns creates virtual replicas of Springfield's beloved family. What once seemed like a humorous science fiction story a few years back is now a reality in our world today. The show's writers didn't just foresee the emergence of VR technology, they also captured our increasing obsession with digital escapism. Homer's character neglects his family duties, getting lost in a pixelated paradise where beer flows endlessly and work is non-existent. Does that ring a bell? According to recent studies, today's VR users spend an average of 4 hours each day fully immersed in these digital realms. Apple's Vision Pro launch in 2024 marked a turning point, selling 200,000 units faster than smartphones did in their early days. These aren't just gaming devices anymore, they're gateways to alternate lives. Activities such as virtual dating, digital office spaces, and AI companions have become normal, challenging the boundaries between what is real and what is simulated. By December 2025, experts predict that 30% of global internet users will spend more time engaged in VR than in reality. Schools are witnessing empty classrooms as students opt for virtual lectures instead. Number 15. Massive energy blackout. In the blink of an eye, everything goes dark. No internet, no heating, no way to charge your phone, just silence as society grinds to a halt. Sounds like a nightmare, right? Well, The Simpsons warned us about this exact scenario decades ago. In Season 10, Episode 6 of The Simpsons' Dough in the Wind, the entire town is plunged into darkness when the power grid collapses. At the time, it seemed like an exaggerated joke, but today, it's close to reality. The Texas power grid failure of 2021 left millions freezing in the dark, exposing the dangers of aging infrastructure and energy mismanagement. Experts now warn that in this 2025, a full-scale energy crisis could cripple major cities worldwide. America's power infrastructure desperately needs updates, with critical systems dating back to the 1950s. The signs of impending trouble are multiplying with cyber attacks targeting power stations that have increased by 300% since 2020. Also, The rise in demand from electric vehicles is straining grid capacity, and repairs on critical infrastructure are falling behind schedule. A blackout of catastrophic proportions isn't just possible, it's imminent. The question isn't if it will happen, but when. Could The Simpsons have given us a peek into a future where the lights go out and civilization as we know it is left powerless? Number 14. Trump's second term. In a jaw-dropping display of predictive power, The Simpsons nailed another unsettling prophecy in the March 2000 episode Bart to the Future. Lisa Simpson, sitting in the Oval Office, inherits a nation teetering on economic collapse, courtesy of her predecessor Donald Trump. At the time, this throwaway line drew laughs. Nobody's laughing now. President Lisa Simpson faces a devastating budget crisis, with the Treasury Department declaring, "We're broke." The show's writers couldn't have known they were sketching the blueprint for America's potential 2025 landscape. Quickly advanced to November 2024, Trump clinches his second presidential victory. The parallels between The Simpsons' fictional presidency and reality become frighteningly clear, with economic indicators flashing warning signs similar to the animated prophecy. Global markets shudder as new tariffs hit major trading partners. The national debt swells beyond previous records, while international confidence in American leadership plummets. The question isn't whether The Simpsons got it right again. It's whether we'll learn from their animated crystal ball before Lisa Simpson's nightmare scenario becomes our waking reality. Number 13. Nuclear disaster. What if one careless mistake, or one act of war, could turn an entire city into a radioactive wasteland? The Simpsons toyed with this idea for years, but the reality of a nuclear catastrophe is no laughing matter. In Season 8, Episode 3, tagged "The Homer They Fall." Set in 1996, Homer's sheer incompetence as a nuclear safety inspector is played for laughs, yet the show subtly hints at an inevitable disaster. With the Springfield nuclear power plant constantly on the verge of meltdown, the question isn't if, but when. The 2011 Fukushima disaster proved these weren't just cartoon fears. When nature challenged human engineering, 3 reactors melted down, forcing 154,000 people to evacuate. Also in 2024, Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia plant faces military threats, with shelling repeatedly compromising safety systems. Experts fear that in 2025, political instability or human error could push a reactor past its breaking point, poisoning entire regions with fallout. If The Simpsons got this prediction right, the consequences could be catastrophic. Imagine entire cities abandoned, skies choked with radioactive dust, and millions suffering from radiation sickness. Number 12. The rise of flying car. We dreamed of soaring above traffic and flying cars, but what if that dream turns into a nightmare? Imagine the sky as a chaotic free-for-all, malfunctioning vehicles plummeting, drones dodging last second, and fiery wreckage raining down. The Simpsons saw this coming. In Season 16, Episode 6 dubbed Future Drama, which was set in 2005, Bart and Lisa saw a futuristic world where flying cars zip through the skies. Exciting, yet dangerously accident-prone. While the show predicted this would happen by 2013, it seems they were just a little early. Accelerate to 2024, and the dream of personal flying vehicles is becoming a reality. Companies like Samsung Sky have already achieved successful test flights of the Switchblade in late 2023, while Hyundai's electric air taxi project is racing toward a 2025 launch. The technology is real, but so are the risks. If The Simpsons' vision aligns with our future, this year could bring the first wave of unregulated aerial traffic. Picture skies packed with self-flying vehicles, pilot errors causing mid-air collisions, and authorities scrambling to impose order. The sky-high dreams of convenient flying transportation might become our next technological nightmare. Number 11. The Rapture and Doomsday. Homer Simpson's Doomsday predictions in Thank God, It's Doomsday feel relevant as we reach its fulfillment. The episode's seemingly ridiculous plot, Homer obsessively calculating when the world will end after watching a Rapture movie, now seems less like a joke and more like an unsettling prophecy. Just like Springfield's panic in the show, our reality today is filled with anxiety. Climate scientists are sounding alarms louder than ever before. In 2024, we witnessed extreme weather events like never before. Coastal cities drowning in sudden floods, wildfires swallowing entire areas, and record-breaking temperatures every month. According to NOAA's data, these extreme events are happening more frequently, suggesting that this year could bring disasters beyond our wildest imagination. Adding to our fears is a shocking study from 2023 about zombie pathogens coming back to life from the Siberian permafrost. These ancient viruses, trapped in ice for thousands of years, pose a unique danger as global warming continues its unstoppable progress. Virologists warn that these dormant organisms could unleash diseases that humanity has never faced before or against which we have no immunity. The dark humor of the episode takes on a disturbing meaning when we think about where we're headed. Homer's vigil on the rooftop, waiting for divine intervention, reflects a growing feeling of powerlessness as environmental and biological threats loom larger. His mathematical calculations, meant to be funny, parallel our frantic efforts to foresee and prepare for possible disasters. Number 10. Celebrity Scandal Overload. A celebrity party in The Simpsons, The Great Gatsby episode, where everyone is dressed in white, perfectly captures the extravagant lifestyle of Hollywood. However, it also serves as a prediction of what's happening now. The 2017 episode revealed a glamorous front hiding deep-rooted secrets, a concept that has become accurate in today's world of entertainment. Mr. Burns's lavish party scene mirrors the high-stakes nature of celebrity culture, where influential figures draped in designer whites conceal their wrongdoings behind carefully crafted public personas. The episode's subtle critique of wealth, power, and moral decay takes on new significance as explosive revelations shake the entertainment industry in 2024. The recent arrest of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs sent shockwaves through Hollywood, mirroring the episode's themes of power gone awry. Federal agents raided opulent properties, exposing alleged crimes that shattered the pristine facade of celebrity invincibility. This real-life parallel to The Simpsons' prophetic party scene hints at even darker truths yet to be uncovered. As we look ahead, 2025 looms as a potential turning point for celebrity culture. Industry insiders are whispering about encrypted files, hidden cameras, and damning evidence that could implicate A-list stars in unimaginable scandals. The predicted fallout includes mass exposure of long-buried celebrity crimes, collapse of major entertainment empires, and public figures fleeing to non-extradition countries. Number 9. Lab-grown meat. What if your next burger didn't come from a farm, but a lab? A future where meat is grown in bioreactors instead of barns once sounded like science fiction. But The Simpsons saw it coming. In Season 20, Episode 4, Treehouse of Horror 19, in 2008, Homer is seen operating a strange meat machine at the Springfield nuclear power plant. In a blink-and-you-miss-it moment, the contraption churns out an unholy slab of synthetic meat from a bubbling vat. Played for laughs at the time, this bizarre joke foreshadowed one of the biggest food revolutions of our generation: lab-grown meat. When this episode aired, lab-grown meat was purely experimental. The first edible cultured beef burger wasn't introduced until 2013, when Dr. Mark Post unveiled a $330,000 prototype. Fast forward to today, and companies like Upside Foods and Eat Just are mass-producing lab-grown chicken and beef, with approvals in Singapore and the US. Before 2025 runs out, bioreactor-grown steaks may be sitting in supermarket aisles. But could this new technology spiral out of control? What happens if lab-grown meat disrupts farming, inflates food prices, or, like Homer's meaty abomination, creates something truly unnatural? The Simpsons may have laughed back in 2008, but we might not be laughing by the end of 2025. Number 8. Baby Translator. In 1991, The Simpsons introduced a quirky concept that would take years to become a reality. In Season 3, Episode 11, I Married Marge, Homer Simpson created a makeshift baby monitor in an attempt to understand his unborn son Bart's babbling. Although the device ended up malfunctioning in typical Homer fashion, it unintentionally predicted a future where technology could decode infant communication. Right now, the idea of a baby translator doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore. Companies like ZoomDream have developed advanced devices powered by artificial intelligence, AI, that can accurately analyze and interpret baby cries. Their baby cry system, priced at $199, uses machine learning algorithms trained on thousands of recorded cries to identify patterns indicating hunger, discomfort, or fatigue, achieving an impressive 85% accuracy rate in clinical trials. However, experts predict that these devices will seamlessly integrate into smart homes, providing real-time translations through smartphones and home assistants. Some prototypes even claim to identify early signs of developmental issues by analyzing cry patterns. The emergence of baby translators raises intriguing questions about the dynamics between parents and their children, as well as the role of AI in raising kids. While Homer's invention merely generated laughter through its comedic failures, today's baby translators spark serious conversations about the future of infant care. Number 7. Music on mind control. The echoes of a seemingly harmless Simpsons subplot now resonate with unsettling accuracy. In Season 8's Burns, Baby Burns, Homer becomes a victim of an advertising jingle that takes over his thoughts and actions. The song worms its way into his brain, compelling him to hum it non-stop and even subconsciously influence his buying habits. It's a comedic exaggeration, but the idea of music having an almost hypnotic grip over people wasn't widely explored at the time. Back in 1996, the idea of subliminal messaging in music was mostly dismissed as conspiracy theory. But today, research has uncovered real effects. A 2011 Nature neuroscience study confirmed that certain sound frequencies can alter brain activity, while a 2019 DARPA project investigated sonic signals as a form of mind modulation. Even commercial platforms like Spotify's AI-driven mood playlists subtly influence listeners' emotions. The Pentagon's $50 million investment into research on sonic behavior modification suggests potential inauspicious uses for such techniques. Additionally, Chinese tech companies have filed patents concerning mass-compliant sound systems, while social media platforms experiment with audio-based psychological triggers. What The Simpsons portrayed humorously, a simple jingle exerting control over Homer's mind, has transformed into a reality where our neural pathways become increasingly susceptible to manipulation through sound waves. Number 6. World War III. What if a cartoon panic attack wasn't just a joke, but a prophecy? Back in 1987, before The Simpsons had its own show, Homer's wild-eyed rant about World War III was just another prank. Today, it feels like a preview of history in the making. A scene from The Tracy Ullman Show in 1987 captures Homer Simpson bursting through his family's peaceful evening, wild-eyed and frantic about World War III. His panicked rush to a makeshift backyard shelter might have seemed like typical Homer hysteria back then. Now it hits differently. This pre-season 1 short titled World War III plays out Homer's signature paranoia, with him dragging a protesting Marge and confused Bart and Lisa into a cramped bunker. Between his gasping warnings about impending doom and fumbling with canned goods, the scene served pure comedy. The gag resurfaced throughout later seasons, with Homer's bomb shelter obsession becoming a running joke. Trump hosted Zelensky to discuss a deal granting the U.S. access to Ukraine's mineral resources, aiming to bolster U.S. support in Ukraine's war with Russia. The meeting started cordially, with Trump calling it an honor to host Zelensky on February 28, 2025. But tensions flared during a press question and answer. Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance pressed Zelensky to show more gratitude for U.S. aid, estimated at $183 billion since 2022. Zelensky pushed back, emphasizing Russia's aggression since 2014 and questioning diplomacy with Putin, who he said broke prior ceasefires. The exchange escalated into a shouting match. Trump accused Zelensky of gambling with World War III and being disrespectful, while Vance chided him for not thanking the US enough. Zelensky retorted that Vance hadn't seen Ukraine's struggles firsthand, and Trump snapped, "You're not in a good position." The meeting unraveled. Zelensky left early, the minerals deal went unsigned, and a planned news conference was canceled. Trump later posted on Truth Social that Zelensky disrespected the US and wasn't ready for peace. Homer's cartoon Panic about World War III played for laughs in 1987. Now it reads like a yellow-skinned prophet's warning, one we might wish we'd heeded sooner. Number 5. Economic collapse. The Simpsons' knack for economic prophecy hits uncomfortably close to home and politically inept with Homer Simpson, where a seemingly throwaway news ticker reads, "Europe puts Greece on eBay." This dark comedy gem from 2012 perfectly captured the looming financial catastrophe that would plague the European Union for years to come. The episode's humorous take on financial markets mirrors our current reality with frightening accuracy. In 2024, global inflation rates soar past 6%, while the U.S. national debt has ballooned to an astronomical $36 trillion, numbers that would make even Mr. Burns clutch his pearls. The show's writers didn't stop at simple gags. Throughout various seasons, Springfield's economic misfortunes painted a picture of systematic financial collapse, with banks foreclosing on homes across Springfield, Mr. Burns hoarding wealth in offshore accounts, and workers striking at the nuclear plant over pension cuts. These animated scenarios now read like tomorrow's headlines. Market analysts predict 2025 could bring a perfect storm of debt defaults, currency crises, and market crashes that could make the 2008 financial crisis look like a mere hiccup, according to Financial Times. The real horror lurks in the numbers. Global debt to GDP ratios reach record highs, cryptocurrency markets swing wildly, and artificial intelligence threatens millions of jobs. Springfield's satirical economic meltdown might serve as a blueprint for our own financial future. By fall 2025, experts warn of a domino effect. Major banks could collapse, pension funds might evaporate, and civil unrest could erupt in financial centers worldwide. The Simpsons' seemingly absurd prediction of selling countries on eBay might prove less far-fetched than we'd like to believe. Just replace eBay with blockchain-based sovereign debt trading platforms. The writing team's uncanny ability to predict economic trends through jokes raises an unsettling question. Are we laughing at their jokes, or are they laughing at our inability to see what's right in front of us? Number 4. The rise of smartwatches. In 1995, The Simpsons featured an episode called Lisa's Wedding, where Lisa Simpson wore a futuristic device on her wrist. This small screen tracked her movements, monitored her health, and acted as a digital assistant. Back then, it seemed like a ridiculous idea, but now it's a reality. In the episode, Lisa uses her wrist device to talk, check messages, and rate social interactions. Today, millions of people do the same with their Apple Watches, Fitbits, and other smartwatches. The real concern is how ingrained these devices have become in our lives. According to Statista, Apple Watch sales reached 50 million units in 2024, with other brands competing for their share. These watches aren't just for telling time anymore, they're advanced tracking devices disguised as fitness gadgets. Privacy advocates are alarmed by the amount of personal information these devices gather, like heart rate patterns, sleep cycles, location tracking, communication habits, daily movement patterns, and stress levels. Experts fear these watches will become mandatory health monitoring tools, granting governments and corporations access to our biological data. Insurance companies may adjust premiums based on heart rate variability. Employers could monitor stress levels for performance evaluations. Hackers might exploit this sensitive data for blackmail or identity theft. As these devices become more advanced, they blur the boundary between convenience and control. Number 3. Corporate mega mergers. In a 1998 episode of The Simpsons, there's a brief visual joke where the 20th Century Fox logo is shown with an unexpected addition, a division of Walt Disney Company. This hidden joke in When You Dish Upon a Star made viewers chuckle nervously. as no one anticipated that this animated crystal ball would foresee one of the largest media acquisitions ever. Fast forward to 2019, Disney's $71.3 billion purchase of 20th Century Fox sent shockwaves through Hollywood. The House of Mouse swallowed a major competitor, creating an entertainment giant that would make Mr. Burns blush. This merger reshaped the media landscape, giving Disney control over beloved franchises from The Simpsons itself to X-Men and Avatar. The trend of corporate consolidation shows no signs of slowing down. This was just the beginning. As of 2024, Amazon owns MGM, Microsoft swallowed Activision Blizzard, and Warner Bros. Discovery dominates streaming. Mergers keep shrinking our options, and regulators struggle to keep up. These deals concentrate unprecedented power in fewer hands, raising alarming questions about creative freedom and consumer choice. Industry experts project just 3 megacorporations could control 90% of all media content. Streaming services might merge into monopolistic platforms, charging premium prices for access to our favorite shows. Independent creators face extinction as these corporate giants dictate what stories get told. The show's writers couldn't have predicted that their comical foresight would become a reality with real-world media consolidation. Yet here we are on the brink of an entertainment monopoly abyss. Number 2. The food contamination crisis. In an episode of The Simpsons titled Yellow Subterfuge, Krusty the Clown's careless food handling turned Springfield into a scene of widespread stomach issues. This comical portrayal becomes relevant as we witness similar events unfold in real life. In 2024, McDonald's was hit by a severe E. coli outbreak affecting about 100 customers and resulting in 1 death across 14 states. The investigation by the CDC uncovers significant vulnerabilities in America's food supply chain. Every stage from farm to table has its own potential weak point. This incident sheds light on how our centralized food systems can create ideal circumstances for large-scale contamination. As we look ahead to the remaining quarters of 2025, the dark prophecy of The Simpsons takes an even more disturbing turn. Imagine this. A disastrous outbreak caused by contaminated meat spreads globally. Supply chains buckle under the pressure of panic buying. Thousands fall sick, grocery store shelves are empty, and public faith in food safety organizations crumbles. The repercussions of such a crisis would be far-reaching, with global food corporations scrambling to manage the situation and to regain control. Our food distribution systems, built for speed rather than security, create perfect conditions for contamination to spread swiftly. As technology improves and scientists uncover new pathogens that evade conventional safety measures, the crisis of 2025 necessitates a complete revamp of food safety protocols. Number 1. Time travel mishap. Imagine Homer Simpson casually fiddling with a toaster that unexpectedly becomes a time-traveling disaster. This ridiculous scene from The Simpsons episode, The Great Louse Detective, might be more relatable than we'd like to admit. In this classic episode, Homer's makeshift time machine causes chaos in Springfield's timeline. Characters appear and disappear, historical events get mixed up, and reality itself starts to fall apart. What began as a quirky attempt to make breakfast turns into a warning about tampering with the flow of time. In 2024, CERN's groundbreaking quantum experiments have shown strange effects on how we perceive time. Scientists have observed instances where particles seem to affect their own past states, challenging our understanding of cause and effect. Although these experiments are controlled and small scale, they suggest possibilities that both excite and frighten the scientific community. This quantum test bent time perception, though travel's still a theory. Suppose a 2025 experiment rips time. Past floods present, history unravels. The Simpsons gag could glitch us out of existence. The scientific community is racing against time itself to prevent such scenarios. However, as we push the limits of quantum mechanics and research on time, The Simpsons' humorous warning about toaster-based time travel shifts from silly entertainment to an unsettling prediction of humanity's arrogance. Just like Homer's chaotic journey, our real-world attempts at manipulating time may lead us down a path where trying to fix the past results in an unforeseen future for all of us. The difference? We won't have Springfield's reset button to rescue us. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.